Hello everyone and welcome back once again. Today we are gonna get a little bit more done around the base to get some storage, and I am going to show you guys a quick-ish version of the FlatHill portal run that I do a lot in, this game in general, as it's pretty much the easiest way to get the power cells, which we can use to make a lot of stuff later on. So here I'm just setting up a box that I'm going to use for temporary storage of just gear items, because in FlatHill the only enemies that you can fight are optional, and even then the composers, they're like really late game to fight. So we're just gonna head back there now, and I will show you guys the quick route that I usually take to complete it. I forgot to grab something real quick, so be right back. Basically, our main goal here is the power cells most of all, but also FlatHill is a high supply of staplers in the beginning section in the office areas. So that's kind of our main goal here, is to stock up on those, as later on in the game you do go through a lot of them. Also, we have a surprise visitor here. Would you look at that? Marion has come back out of FlatHills and escaped with us.
If I can assist, I shall.
He's actually a really good trader in my opinion, as you can also get power cells from him, but we don't have half the stuff to trade from him, so for now we're just gonna have to skip it. We're just gonna do a fast one through it. We start off running through the garage here. Running in here, we can grab our cans of peas, tomato seeds if you need them, and your salt. This is a great place to stock up on salt. You can get some chemicals from the cabinets here in the little ice cream room, as well as ice cream, which can be used for stuff later on. We got our first set of computers that we can break. The pot and pan that respawns there, as well as 9mm ammo, is always pretty good. And then I always try to keep a good amount of scrap going, so I try and get that. You get a lot of money here at FlatHill as well, so that's a really good thing. These magazine stands, we can use those to make the containment chests, and then we can also use them for scrap and whatnot. So we're gonna take all that. We're utilizing our shortcut, skipping through the park, because there really isn't much there to get, so you can just skip it. Utilize your shortcuts. Now here we have a symphonist. That thing is kind of like the baby version of a composer, except they have the inverse. Composers can see you, but they can't hear you. Symphonists can hear you, but they can't see you. So as long as you crouch around them and don't touch them, they will be fine. They're actually, I think they literally one of the beefiest enemies in the game in terms of health, so it's not really recommended lower levels to fighting them, that I'd say. Once you get like better stuff later on from like labs and forward, then you could try and fight them. However, my issue usually comes from the fact that they just have a ridiculously high amount of health, and also for some reason immune to electricity. But anyways, we grab our first power cell, go through here, ripping the pipes off the walls if you need them for anything, really stocking up, or metal scrap. Jumping down into the bowling alley, we're gonna grab the vent scrap here, because I don't like to be wasteful. Here we can grab even more salt. You can break the furniture if you want with a hammer to get a bunch of scrap plastic and stuff. Going out in here, we're picking up salt. The money is also important, because we're going to be using it later to get like freeze bombs. Getting some extra stuff here. My vacuum ran out, so I need to actually break stuff by hand. In here, once you get a bigger backpack, you can also pick up the oil and screws. Doesn't really matter that much. After you pick up the next power cell into the library, Here we can pick up books if you need paper scrap. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much, but maybe later on, if you get a lot of scrap shot ammo, you use a lot of paper. You can use it. Just run past this guy. We don't really need much here. There's some money and salt, but that's kind of optional. Getting inside the building, just running through, ransacking cupboards real quick. I think there's a thing, I'm not entirely sure, but sometimes the cupboard loot doesn't respawn or reset if there's stuff left in it. So I usually just drop extra knives and stuff that I'm not going to use. Here we're going to get even more scrap for, well, just basics. So definitely worth coming in here. We can get more staplers, a lot more plastic and electronic bits and bobs. And again, if you have a hammer, you can always rip everything apart in here. Don't really need to. And you're also probably going to find duct tape in some of the drawers to repair a hammer if need be. Then we take our elevator down. A little bit of waiting. Here pretty much is just kind of your end goal to leave here. Just kind of juke that guy going to the left, run up the stairs. As long as you're not over encumbered, he can't reach you. The gate's already open, so we're fine. We can skip the composer doll. Those are basic crates that only give like cloth and stuff, so it's not really worth it. And then grabbing the last power cell, we are free once again. So that's kind of our basic run through FlatHill. At that point, it's kind of just easy. You get the routine down enough and do it enough that those FlatHill runs become like 10 minutes tops once you really get it down. And it becomes easier with bigger backpacks that help you with the weight and whatnot as time goes. So I kind of leave it up to you guys. I'm thinking about kind of just skipping and starting to cut those out of the videos after I show you like one loop kind of thing. But I will probably show you an actual recording, because sometime later on I actually start to hunt down those the symphonists just so I can get their heads, because you can trade them for Marion for some stuff. But we are not in a situation to do that right now. So now I can use that magazine stand to make this hazard crate, and I don't really think we're going to need more than one of these necessarily, but these are really great as we can use this to store these power cells, and it will completely block out the radiation for us. So no radiation is going to be seeping from it, which is really nice. So we're gonna gear ourselves back up, and there was a couple things left over in the garage that I'm gonna pick up, because as much as I like this makeshift armor for increasing the carrying capacity, we definitely need an upgrade if we're gonna be fighting, well, armed soldiers with guns for the most part. So whatever recipes we can get from manufacturing, we should probably arm ourselves accordingly. Gonna grab some ammo. Kind of nice that if we farm robots and stuff, we can use the oil to trade Grayson for 9mm ammo, even though, you know, 9mm is technically the weakest gun in this game, but it's still a gun, so we're still gonna take it regardless. Taking the long way back. Not sure why I decided to do it, but I just said why not, I guess. Making sure the place is cleared out. So, sneaking up on this carbuncle. Get that sneak attack XP. But yeah, blacksmith gloves. And this welding mask. I can use these with some stuff, I believe, to make that forge armor, as we just got the recipe for. Yeah, looks like they just provide better protection anyways, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take it. You can see that I got that little helmet buff thing. Well, it's not really a buff, it's an in-between. It's mostly just a warning that I'm wearing heavy armor, and when I'm doing that, I gain strength XP, which is kind of nice. I can't get in there without level 2 hacker, so we'll have to come back when we make a level 2 hacker. And let's see, we'll go explore that gate that leads off to residence. We're not ready for. And some portal, we got a monk over there. Let's see if I can maybe get a drop on him. Ooh, and of course, oh, he didn't die. Okay, that's rude. Oh, and he noticed this. Okay, just have to use some cover here. Hope he misses. Hit him with a net launcher, stun him. Amazing that his melee doesn't really do much, but man, those blasts will get you fast. Just pick up all this stuff here. Extra cots. It's really nice in manufacturing that you kind of get it early for these cots to kind of solve your sleep problems. I want that steel cable real bad. We could drop the ethanol for it, because that seemed to be important. I'm gonna get a lot of recipes for it. Oh, well, you know. So this brings us back to Silo 3, or the executive suites in the office sector. So it's kind of nice, almost like a shortcut-ish, I say, because it's not really the most shortcut-y thing. But I guess if you build a base in the executive suites, it wouldn't be the worst thing to have the portal there to kind of be a shortcut to manufacturing. Though I'm not sure you're saving that much time. But, well, I guess it brings you right behind the blacksmith. So we're going to go up the hill here. And let's see what we got. We got a soldier that is patrolling the area here. Gonna wait for him to come back so I can maybe sneak up behind him or something. Let's just keep grabbing more materials. It's for the best anyway. So I think our best chance is kind of picking these guys off one by one, because I don't want to get them in a situation where they could just like fire and kill me by massive fire. See, we got a few guys in there. I'm hoping with the door closed that it counts as a wall and they don't see me, I guess. I'll try hitting this dude with a power attack. Maybe he'll die like the monk did. Come on, die. Oop. Oh, slipped in my own fire. Oh, he's so tanky. Okay, the rat ran off. Oh my gosh. You need to die, dude. Oh, okay, I'm an idiot and dropped my hammer. There we go. There's gonna be more computers. And we're under fire. Let's just leave that guy. He's in a different room and I don't think he'll see me. And I'm being attacked here. Hopefully I can kind of pick him off one at a time. Yeah, door's shut, dude. Oh, okay. Get that pen stuck in your arm. Just keep... If you stay there, I'm just gonna keep pelting you with sharp pens. Okay. They got 9mm. And those also hurt. Those are a little more... just a smidge stronger than this crossbow made from rubber bands and pens. Alright, you can just die. Oh my gosh, you're so tanky. Okay. Let's regroup for a second. And... hit him. Maybe. Oh yeah, net launch. Stun him. Okay, just finish him. Finish him. Nope, I am starting to get surrounded. This is exactly the situation I don't want to be in. Come on. Let's see. Okay. They're gonna give chase. I think maybe. I think they're still alerted. Take that military backpack for sure. Give us a little more space. Okay, so they don't see. Let's sneak attack this dude. Finish him off. Nice. Surely nobody heard this guy getting his head caved in with a mallet. Okay. Got another guy patrolling down there. Right. Oh, nope. They saw me. And we got two guys. A captain. Okay, medic's down. I'm a little hurt. Okay. Get him while he's reloading. Got him. Nice, nice, nice. Alright. Talk about a scuffle there. Medic helmet, nice. Put that suit on so I can take this power cell. I don't want the Geiger counter. What does Mance have to say?
Dr. Mance, Cascade Facility. Immured subject 184. These Xers, or the Exor, as Fedora. Dr. Riggs insists on calling it. It's a highly aggressive, bipedal humanoid, originating, we believe, in Antiverse 2. We've now tracked 184 through the 4 known stages in its life cycle, and intriguingly, several divergent adult forms. How or why it attains these forms, we are yet to determine.
Yeah, a little interesting tidbit on some more Exor lore for us. So, the rest of this is mostly just going to be me doing a lot more cleanup and picking up materials, so we're probably just going to fast forward through a lot of this, but I figured maybe I'll give you guys another story here. So, I'm pretty into TTRPGs, and I played a lot of it in high school with a lot of my friends. We, in particular, played a lot of Pathfinder, which for those that don't know, it's kind of like 3.5 edition of D&D that kind of became its own thing. And this is kind of minor spoilers for the Rise of the Ruin Lords campaign, but that thing is almost like 20 years old by now, so if you haven't played it, that's kind of on you at this point. So one of the times we were playing, we had just finished off this cult. It was called like the Skin Saw cult. People were like worshipping some like serial killer dude, but we ended up finding this amulet, which was giving off some seriously bad vibes from like the second we found it. Like, I think the amulet itself was literally made from like human body parts, which is already a very creepy, like evil demonic thing. Anyways, we saw that it had like magical properties through like a detect magic spell or something, and one of my friends got really curious about it and decided to ask our DM, what does it do? Our DM responds with a description of, it's an amulet of sinister nature that protects and corrupts the soul of whoever wears it. My friend didn't take the hint here, even though the description's pretty on point that this thing's evil, and they reply with, yeah, but what does it do? And our DM just like looks up from behind his screen with the most like disappointed look on his face, like the look your dad gives you when he realizes like you're not really gonna make it that far in life. And in the most like deadpan serious tone, he looks at them and says, it gives you a +2 to saving throws. And not even thinking about it, my friend immediately puts it on, and they're told to change their alignment to evil. And they're like, wait, what? Why? And I ask him if you didn't hear anything that was just described about the soul corruption that he literally just said. And they said, yeah, but I thought it'd be more like a Harry Potter Horcrux thing where it'd just slowly corrupt my soul. And our DM just like looks at them and like, no, thing is super evil. Putting it on is like a baby. You're not gonna kill someone's child and be like, man, I feel really bad about this kid. I hope I don't turn evil in like 2 to 3 weeks. It's like, no, you're evil right then and there, putting on the amulet. Anyway, they let them take back putting it on and whatnot. We ended up turning over all the cult items to the local clergy to be destroyed, but it turned into kind of a funny joke between us where whenever somebody would ask something, we'd always reply with, yeah, but what does it do? Moral of the story, I guess, just listen to the obvious warnings that your DMs give you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But now we've got some upgrades to make. So we have a lot of ideas with this forge set. Now that I got that wire, upgrade a couple things and hopefully maybe make something that might be bulletproof. This heater shield might provide us, well, it definitely would provide better than a plastic tray strapped to my shoulder, that's for sure. Jump pad recipe, get to higher heights. Lantern, I guess there's an alternative flashlight. I'm gonna go through a lot of this reinforced hose for sure. Alright, let's see. I think we'll make the gauntlets here. They don't, I kind of want to save that wiring for right now. So, is it worth making the chest piece? Maybe I'll make, I need to make that enhancement bench. That's actually, this thing, okay, this thing's absolutely going to be worth it. So, they made this to kind of let you keep items from early game and actually directly upgrade them with this enhancement bench, which hopefully maybe I'll be able to upgrade that crossbow, because we're not really doing too well in the 9mm ammo department, but that's fine. With this we might be able to make the crossbow and give it a little bit of oomph to kind of compensate before I can stock up or get a better weapon in general. So yeah, get this set up here. Hopefully I might have materials in which I could upgrade my crossbow, which would be very nice since I don't have too much ranged options. Just missing some reinforced planks, okay. Well, that's fairly cheap. Well, we're gonna need more rebar. But what do we get? An industrial crossbow, okay. That does quite a bit more damage. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure it should still take the same bolts. Oh nice, we got a scope on it too. Some steel wire instead of rubber bands, and it uses the same thing, so I think, yeah, we could definitely work with this. For now, I think we're gonna call it here, so I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!